Welcome back in. This segment of the Sports Source is brought to you by Madisonville Marine. I always tell you there's no better place to buy a boat, and that's because it's true. You know about their selection. I've told you for years. You know about their prices. There's a reason people buy online from them across the country and have the boat shipped to them. Even to buy the boat across the country and have it shipped, they're still saving money off what they could get at a boat dealer in their own state. What does that tell you? Some great deals available at Madisonville Marine, but the reason so many people go there and keep going there, customer service. These are good people. Joe Special and his team, been around since 1976, folks. Quality individuals. Bob Hodge bought his boat down there and just loves them and says they treat him like a king every time he goes down there. MadMarine.com, Madisonville Marine. Find out for yourself. I promise you'll be very happy. Okay. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey went to meet with Congress this week. He wants federal regulation of NIL. He's also the head of the NCAA's Transformation Committee that has stalled at the moment. So he likely wants the government to take the hard work out of his hands of having to figure out this transformation. Hey, do me a solid. You guys come up with something. So I get that part of it. Let's see what he said. I appreciate today's opportunity for conversation and dialogue with members of Congress. As we have observed activity emerge that is very different from original ideas around name, image, likeness, it is important we continue to pursue a national NIL structure to support the thousands of opportunities made available for young people through intercollegiate athletics programs across the country, yada, 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 yada. That all sounds good. I wonder, though, does this tell us something about the Southeastern Conference and all conferences in that if there's a league, I mean, Texas A&M and Tennessee are believed to be tops in the nation in terms of this NIL stuff. Kentucky got their whole basketball team a crypto deal. Texas is giving $50,000 to every scholarship offensive lineman, probably more now that that's nothing. Alabama, Georgia, Florida are all keeping up. LSU and Oklahoma are going to be there. You can make a real good case that if any league wants the Wild Wild West, it is Sankey's league, and yet he's going and making statements like that and asking for help. I wonder, you guys tell me if this could be at play. The SEC's always been in lockstep. It's one of the things that makes the SEC's great. It's one of the reasons it's been a strong conference. From a business decision, Slive, Kramer, Sankey, they whip everybody into one. It's like the Iditarod. All the dogs go in the same direction. It's one thing when we recruit against each other. It's another thing when, as a business partner, I give $2 million to a kid to buy him off your roster, business partner. To poach him and pay him and do it. Yeah. I could see the conference level anger, distrust, mistrust exploding now that there's this kind of money involved. I think that could be one of the reasons he's going to Washington, because he knows where it looks like, hey, we love the Wild Wild West. This could be very bad long term. Again, I'm typically looking at the glass half empty. Anybody else agree with that, disagree with that? Do you see other issues involved that could be popping up here?
Well, there's a number of things. I think the main thing is that all of the inconsistencies within the state laws make everything super, super complicated. And the NCAA's interim NCAA policy is like as thin as it gets. There's very, very little guidance. So they would like something on that front, like a national law. Now, I will say, when you talk to agents and people that are dealing these deals, they are laughing as these commissioners are going to D.C. One, to get any kind of support. He goes to get quote-unquote support, and he gets a statement from Marsha Blackburn at Tennessee saying, we're trying to hold him accountable. This is kind of messed up. Like, basically kind of ripping the SEC in a very, like, tactful
Mark Emmert
politicky way.
And that'll help.
Yeah, basically.
She did what politicians do.
Yeah, essentially. So, like,
they're the villain, not me.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you're not going to get support from Congress. Maybe they agree with you that some national guidance is better over this insane patchwork state-by-state law, but
from a conference,
it's desperate.
But from UT's perspective, you're bringing Texas in, who's a home wrecker of a program anyway. They never get along with anyone. You're bringing them in at a time when, if there's ever a bad blood opportunity, it's now. Is this more dangerous for the SEC?
Well, don't we think that Tennessee lost a receiver from Wyoming that went to Texas?
Yeah.
Which is a future SEC school. Yeah. And so maybe there's a look at that and saying, hey, wait a minute now, we don't need to be poaching, or we don't need to be recruiting that way against ourselves. So I think that's a part of where Sankey is on this argument.
Yeah, Sankey explicitly opposes the collective stuff, the recruiting stuff. He's made it clear to schools that, like, hey, don't do this, and the schools are saying, or else
Stop
what?
us.
And hey, come over here, we got some checks for you.
And the AD at Wichita State got fired for not being involved in the
Yeah.
NIL
Yeah.
deals.
Well, and
So-
when's the last time you've had SEC schools tell the SEC? I just said it. When's the last time the Dogs turned around and said, "Yeah, we're not going to mush"? I can't. This may be the first
I
time.
haven't seen that. It's the first for me.
Here's what I think is going on. I think it starts with the coaches, and they're complaining to Sankey because these college
That's where the
coaches,
losing part
right. These college coaches love to be in full control.
Yeah.
They like to know what's going on with their program 24/7. This guy's here, this guy's there. But when you throw in the money aspect, and now everyone across the league knows what this player is making or what this player was offered, now he loses that control. You can't control the money now. And so now if somebody's going to come in and pay you $5 million more than what somebody else is going to pay you, then now you lose that top receiver or top running back, defensive lineman to this other school.
You've also got another layer. I mean, I not only have to deal with the player, mom and daddy,
Yep.
any kind of high school coach or AAU coach, any kind of handler, an uncle or hanger-on. Now I've got an NIL agent and a collective that is also in between me and this deal.
Right.
I just wonder if you've already seen a lot of basketball coaches leave. I've said on the show a million times, Rick Barnes, 67 years old. We'll see how long he wants to put up with this. I may be wrong. He may be reinvigorated by it, but I would be concerned. Are you worried about the SEC at all? Because it is such a go competitive league, and now you've thrown this into it. And if David's right, you've got schools telling the commissioner, yeah, we're not going to listen to you. Does that worry you, Josh? Because this league has always been in lockstep with one another.
As a sports talk radio host, it doesn't concern me at all. It reinvigorates me in some ways. But to your question, and also to some of the points here, some of the public barking we've seen, Lane Kiffin about Texas A&M, then Jimbo Fisher about what Lane said, and then Lane Kiffin about Tennessee. Dabo, who's not in the SEC, but they recruit against one another. So if we're seeing this publicly, well, then what's happening privately? So Saban, what he said, if he said in more general terms publicly, he's getting more specific privately. I don't think coaches at first were all that upset that players are going to get paid because they know how the game's been played. I think they're upset about price tags and how that's going up.
Again, I still come back to people get mad when it happens, but nobody tried to put a stop to coaches leaving for more jobs for more money. People want to make these things like they're not the same. They are the same. There's still people getting paid, and if somebody's willing to pay you more to go there, like, pay up. Like, this is what the market is. And I think people want to make it something different. It's the same. It's people getting paid.
Well, the difference is you got one coach that may be leaving. You may have 85 players.
Correct.
So you're
But a
dealing with
coach,
the
I would
number.
say, is more valuable than any player. Nobody.
No, that's
not
not the
85
point.
players.
Well, then
That's
nobody's
not
going to
the
be paying
point.
85 players
No,
to
sir.
leave. But
No,
one
sir.
coach is a big
No,
deal.
but you can
No.
lose everybody. Go ask the LSU. But now that's a different situation. But everybody at LSU gone.
At one point, they had 0 on scholarship. So that's the difference. It's the number. It's the volume. The principle's the same. The volume's different.
Don't be
All right.
poor.
All right. When we come back, was that your? Don't be poor.
That's what you got to do in the new age of college sports.
Well,
Get
there
the
you
money
go.
together.
Okay, then let's come back. We'll bring Vince back out here. Then, if you're a college football fan, the next 10 years, are they going to be the best of times or the worst of times? Let's debate. I think I know where Ubben's going. I think I know where I'm going. We'll see where everybody else goes. Come on back.